Hello, my name is Misha and I want to show you a tutorial how to create rotating mandala like this in After Effects. So let's take a look at our final video. Okay, I do it with repeater script that you can buy on my video hype page. Link for it you can find in description to this tutorial. I hope you have a lot of patience because this tutorial is pretty long. And sorry for my English, it's not very good, but I hope you understand everything. Okay, so let's start. At first we create new composition, call it mandala. And now import some footages that I use in project. Select all these pictures, drop them here. And I start from creating a flower in the middle of composition. I use for it this pentel PNG, drop it in new composition, Ctrl K to open composition settings, right here 500 and 500, scale down a little bit this picture and move anchor point to 0. And now I use repeater script, this one circle repeater, right here 8 copies and press create. So it create 8 copies of this PNG. Select transform controller, go to effect controls and right here in radius 0, and then select this orient along circle and check it. So now we got this nice flower. Select all these pictures and choose here multiply mode to make them transparent. And now drop this composition to our main mandala composition. Now I add hearts around this flower. Select heart PNG and drop it in new composition. Again, make composition 500 and 500. Rotate it for 90 degrees and create circle composition, circle repeater. Sorry, 8 copies and radius 150. Create. Now select transform controller and check this one orient along circle and drop these hearts in our main composition too and just little bit rotate it for 23%. Nice. Now we need to create 2 circles around this flower, unselect all layers and double click on this ellipse tool. Open ellipse path and change here 380 and 380. Duplicate this ellipse and change this path to 365. Maybe 2. And maybe add some dashes. This here. Okay, nice. Change this name to first circles. Now we need to add elephant around this circle. Elephant I got in PSD, which I need to import, and choose here composition because it have few layers. Okay, open this elephant composition, maybe change background color. At first let's create circle with elephants and then I show you how to animate his legs to make look like he's moving. So drop this elephant composition in U1, call it elephant circle, open it, open composition settings, make it 600 and 600, scale it down, maybe 25, presents create repeater, 12 copies, okay, and select transform controller, orient along circle, and I forgot to change rotation, open rotation of transform controller, and that one right 90 degrees. Now make radius like 225. Okay, pretty nice. And drop it in our mandala composition. Perfect. Let's create some triangles around these elephants. Create new composition, call it triangles 1. And double click here on Start tool, open properties, right here 3 point, inner radius 7, outer 14, and maybe let's make some roundness 5%. Now let's make some start animation, open transform of polystar and go to 15 frame and animate scale and position. Make them easy, go to begin and right here for example 30 and scale 0. Now let's make them a little bit faster and position. Okay, pretty nice this one. Good. Now let's repeat it. Rotate it on 90 degrees and create repeater. 48 copies and radius 280. Create. Select transform controller and press here orient along circle. Okay, now drop it to mandala and here. Yeah, good. Now duplicate this composition and select this boss and drop them in new one. Okay, and call it triangles main. Now open triangles tool, go to 15 frames, select transform controller and change slider to change radius to 285 and open rotation of transform controller and right here minus 90. Then rotate it main rotation to 3 and 8 I think. Now open triangles main and look here. Yeah, pretty good, but we can move a little bit. 288 for example. Let's look. Yeah, I like. Now open my mandala, go here, select these triangles 1 and select triangles main, hold alt and drag it to replace this one on main. Yeah, now we got this picture. You can look how it's animated start. Yeah, pretty nice. Now let's create next one circle. I use for it this pattern PNG, drop it in new composition. Composition settings, make it 800 on 800. Okay. Then scale it down for 35%, rotate it on 90 degrees and create circle repeater. 24 copies on 320 radius, create. Select transform controller and orient along circle. Okay, drop it to mandala composition. and we got it. For the next one, circle, I use this lotus picture, drop it in new composition, composition settings, 900 and 900, okay, scale it down to 50%, rotate it on 90 degrees, and create round repeater. 24 copies, 360 radius, create. And orient along circle again. Mandala. Drop here this one lotus composition. And pretty nice, just rotate it for 7 and 5 degrees. Yeah, perfect. Okay, next one layer would be dots between these lotus flowers. Create new composition, call it dots. And create here ellipse, double click on it. Open ellipse path, right here 10. And go to transform ellipse, move it to the 10 position horizontal, and create some start animation for scale. Go to 12 frame, press here, go to 7 frame, right here 150 scale, and first one would be 0. Now open graph editor and make it a little bit faster. Okay, look, good. Now duplicate this ellipse, Ctrl D, open transform again, right here -10, and move these keyframes maybe for 3 frames. Click on it. No, I think we need to move this one. Yeah, good. Now rotate this for 90 degrees and repeat it, 24 copies, radius 380 I think, create, and place here again, orient along circle. Now drop it in mandala. Next I create one more circle, unselect all layers, double click on ellipse tool, call it circle 2. Stroke is 20, okay, open ellipse path and right here 810 on 810, okay. Then go to stroke properties, open it, and add 2 dashes. First one write 3 and second one to write 7. Okay, nice. Next one I create circle from this one picture, drop it in new composition, make it 1000 and 1000, scale it down for 70, rotate it on 90 degrees, and create repeater. 48 copies on 450 radius, select transform and orient along circle. Okay, now drop it to mandala. And we got it. Next I create one more circle from this figure 2 PNG, drop it in new composition, change width to 1100, take to 1100, scale it down to 50%, rotate it to 90 degrees, and repeat it. Make 48 copies, radius 480, create. Select transform controller and orient along circle. Now drop it in mandala. After Effects become working pretty slow because here a lot of layers, but open rotation and change it to 3.5. Okay, and final one, I create one more circle, double click on ellipse tool, call it circle 3, oops, circle 3, and open ellipse path and change it to 982, 982, yeah, good. Now our mandala is ready, so I just create the ground, Ctrl Y on your keyboard, call it BG, and color is good, okay. Now drop it down on the bottom of composition and duplicate circle 3, drop it down again and hide stroke and choose fill like purple, okay. Now I just pre-compose these two background layers, select them both, choose layer, recompose, and call it BG. For background, I create one more pattern in Illustrator. Here is it. But if you import it just to project panel, it would import like still picture, and it would hard to animate it. But I wanna have start animation, so I do it like this: create new composition, call it shape pattern, okay, and create here some shape layer, call it pattern, open it, and here we have 71 layer, so we need to duplicate path 71 times. Duplicate it, 55, 71. Then double press U on your keyboard and select all these passes. Select all of them except stroke. Then go to Illustrator, Ctrl C on your keyboard and Ctrl V here. And now we paste all our passes here in our shape layer. Now you need to add trim and make here some animation for start and end. Make them easy ease, right here 50 and here 50. Go up to 2 seconds, right here 0 and here 100. Now go to graph editor and make them a little bit faster. Look what we got. Yeah, pretty nice. Then drop shape pattern in new composition, call it BG pattern, and make it HD. Okay, Now again use repeater, but square repeater. So press here, make 7 copies on 5 copies, and position with 340. Okay, create. Then go to transform controller, open it, make offset -3 on -2, and maybe change rotation to make it more randomly. Personal rotation, make it 90 degrees. And we got this nice background pattern. Now open your BG composition and drop here BG pattern. Move it here. Nice. Now we can add maybe some shadows to our circle. 0, 200, and maybe 30. Look on our mandala. It's look pretty nice, I like it. And now let's animate all these circles and start from central one, from this flower. Open pencil composition, select transform controller, and here we will animate these 3 properties: personal rotation, scale, and opacity. At first we need to check this off, because if we check it, personal rotation doesn't work. What do personal rotation? If you change it, every next element change his rotation on 25%. The same with scale. If you write here -5, every next element change his scale goes down on 5%. And the same with opacity. If you write here -10, every next element changes opacity. And one more field that we will change is the main scale of transform controller. If we press S on our keyboard, we have here scale, and if we change it, it will change scale of first one element. So difference between this scale and this one is scale step, that change every next element, and this scale change first one. So let's start. Move your time indicator on 1 second and 10 frames. Press here to make it animate, and in 0 time write 20%. Then check all these clocks to animate all these parameters. Press U on your keyboard to open all animated fields and select them all. Right click and ease. Then go to this time and write here personal rotation 45 and scale 0 and opacity 0. And in 0 keyframes write here personal rotation 0, scale -20, and opacity -80. Okay, so let's take a look. Yeah, pretty nice. Now select personal rotation, go to graph editor and make it more slightly. Then select scale and opacity and make them more slightly too. And one more is that we need to select main rotation, hold Alt and press on this clock to write here expression 20 multiply time. This will rotate our mandala all the time. So let's take a look. Little preview. You see that everything rotating and looks good. So now we need to animate hearts. Open heart composition, select transform controller, and here we animate only scale and opacity. So click on these blocks, press U to open all animated fields, and hold shift and press S and T to open main scale and main opacity. Click on these blocks too, select them all and make them easy. Go in 0 time and right scale -15, opacity -10, main scale 50 and main opacity 20. Looks what we got. And they slightly fade in. I like it. And one more again, select main rotation, hold Alt and click on these blocks and write again 20 multiply time. Now open our mandala composition. Here a lot of layers, so it's work very slow. That's why I select pental and hard composition and solo them. Now I need to move hearts a little bit forward, maybe to 15 frames. And now you see that they are not in middle between petals. So I change rotation to -10. So now it's good. And next I animate first circles. Solo them too. And move them in first second. Open properties and add trim pass to ellipse 2. Open it and animate and field. Make it easy. Go to 2 seconds, 1 keyframe here, here 0. Maybe open graph editor and little bit move it. Then hold Alt and on this clock of offset and right here -20 multiply time to rotate our circle. Then duplicate our trim pass and move it to ellipse 1. Press U on keyboard and move it maybe for 3 frames forward. And let's preview. I like it. Now we need to change our colors. Change color of circles on dark purple, something like that. And our hearts, I use fill effect and choose here some nice red color, something like that. Okay. Next step, I will animate elephant. So I need to open elephant composition, and at first I animate his legs. So place your time indicator in 0 and choose perfect pin tool and place here three points on his legs. Press U on your keyboard, select these keyframes, make them easy ease, and then go to 1 second and move them. Move them like his legs moving to this point, maybe like this. Then select first 3 keyframes, copy them, Ctrl C, go to 2 second, Ctrl V, and we got it. Now go to our leg 3, place here 3 points, press U, make them easy ease, go to 1 second and move them. This is good. Okay, and now this one, first leg, I'm gonna move it. Oh, good. Now copy these three keyframes and paste. Sorry. Copy them and paste them here. Go to our leg number 2. Place here 3 points. Press U. Make them easy. Go to 1 second and move them again. Again, copy them and paste them here. And the last one leg, place again 3 points. U. Easy. Go to 1 second and move them here. Make it more straight. Like this. And now we need to move again this one leg a little bit forward. Copy these 3 keyframes and paste in 2 seconds. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. And look what we got. Yeah, pretty good. And now we need to make some expressions. Hold Alt and press here on this clock and choose here in property section look out expression. Copy it and paste it in every animated fields. This expression make our leg moving all the time of composition. It's repeat all these keyframes all the time. So we use it only for one leg, so only it's moving. Now paste it in every animated field. And one more, we animate the head. Move anchor point somewhere here. And press R to open rotation. Right here, maybe 5. Make it easy. Go to 1 second, right here maybe -15, -10. And again 5. And again hold Alt, write the expression, and look what we got. Yeah, now our elephant is nice moving. So what next? Next we need to go to elephant circle. Look here. Everyone elephant is moving. So now we need to add rotation to this circle. Go to main rotation, hold Alt, press here, and write expression time multiply 10. Let's preview it. No. Minus time multiply 10. Now I'll make some start animation for this elephant. To do it, I select body, move its anchor point to the bottom of the elephant, somewhere here, and place our time indicator in 1 second and 10 frame. Select scale, Press here to animate, scale, and select easy ease. Go in 0 time and write here 0. Open graph mode and little bit move this one here and this one here. Now place the time indicator after the second keyframe and select all other layers except body and make them childs of body. To do it, press on this button and drag it on body. Okay, now all our layers moving with our body. And maybe add some rotation. Open rotation, make it easy, and right here maybe 20. Open graph mode, little bit move this, and yeah, it's good. Now I'm going to elephant circle composition, and here you can see that all elephants appear in one time. To change it, I move every layer for 2 frames, like this, but as you see they move in counterclockwise direction, so they must appear in that direction too. But if we move layers from up to down, they appear in clockwise direction, which is wrong. So we need to move them from down. You can do it by your hand, but more easy is to use script, to use sequencer script, which you can find in internet. It is free. Just select all layers from down to up and run the script. Sequencer. Here you write that you move for 2 frames and all layers moves. Now just change in transform controller our main rotation. Write here some expression, -15 multiply time, to rotate our circle all the time, and look how it's look like in our mandala composition. Just move it maybe for 1 second and 10 frame, and let's preview. It looks pretty good. The only thing I want to change is to move them a little bit earlier, maybe to 1 second. And the next thing is triangles. Follow them too. Move them up to 2 seconds. And as you see, they already have some start animation. So I only move this second one to 5 frames and fill them to some nice colors. Use fill effect. And I would use some colors from here, so I leave this monitor and go to triangles main, fill this in yellow, and this one in red like heart. And one more thing, we need to rotate in time our triangles, so open rotation of them and write here expression -20 multiply time. And that expression means that our triangles would move in same direction as elephants, because we have here minus, but they would move a little bit faster, because we have here 20 and elephant have 15. So next we animate pattern composition, solo it too, and move it maybe for 2 seconds and 5 frames. Then open it, and here we animate some fields of transform controller. It's opacity, move your time indicator in 1 second and 10 frame, and animate opacity, scale, and main rotation. Now press U to open animated fields. Select these keyframes, make them easy, go in 0 time, And right here for main rotation -90, scale -20, and opacity -80, for example. And go to graph mode and a little bit change these graphs, like this, maybe for opacity. And for scale, and the last one is main rotation. And let's preview. Yeah, I like it. Now go to mandala and fill it. I think it's good. This red from our heart color is good. And let's preview how it looks like together. It looks good, but I forgot to change rotation of pattern. So open rotation and write here expression 20 multiply time. Next one is our lotus. Just move it in time for 2 seconds and 10 frames and open it. And here I want to use same animation as in pattern composition. So copy these keyframes, Ctrl C, go to Lotus and animate the same fields, opacity, scale, and main rotation. Press U to open these fields and Ctrl V. Good, now it has same animation as pattern composition. Come back to mandala. And you need to find frame where, because our lotus don't move, and we need to find the frame where our lotus flowers is in middle between these patterns. Just move time indicator in time and find it, maybe like 4 seconds and 12 frames. And now just parent this layer to our pattern composition, so they will rotate together. And now again, let's take a look at quick preview. Okay, next one is dots. Just solve them too. And maybe hide some layers to make After Effects work faster. Yes, this one. And now move your dots to 3 seconds and 10 frames. Now find again in time the moment where our dots are between flowers. Just move your time indicator. I think it's pretty good point, and attach it to the lotus. Nice. Now open dots, and here we have 51 elements, so select half of them, maybe for 27, and again I use sequencer script and move them for one frame. You see half of them moving, and now select the other one half and use this script for them too. Okay. And now look how it's animated. Really nice. And now just fill it. I use again this yellow color. This doesn't seem on this white background, just make it a little bit darker. Okay, nice. And next one is circle. Here we need to add trim again. So add trim pass, and let's animate it from 3 seconds. Animate the end, make it easy ease. Go to the 4 second and 15 frame, place here 100, and in 3 seconds 0. Open graph mode and a little bit move it like this. Now write expression for offset, like -10 multiply time, and choose the color like white, and we can cut all before 3 seconds. The next one is our FL3 composition. Open it, and here I'll animate wave controller. Select it, place the time indicator in 1 second and 15 frame, and animate length and offset of wave, and press here to show only wave elements. Now press U on the keyboard, go to 0 time, and write here for length 0 and for offset 20. Okay, now we can preview it. Yeah, I like it. Now go to mandala again, open rotation, and write here expression -20 multiply time to rotate our composition. Now I'm going to figure composition, and here I'll animate transform controller. Place the time indicator in 1 second and 15 frame, and let's animate radius, main rotation, scale, and opacity. Press U to open animated fields, select them, make them easy ease. Go in 0 time and write for radius 510, for main rotation 90, scale -5, and opacity maybe -50. Now a little bit change graph for opacity, do it like this, and let's preview. Okay, pretty good. Now going to mandala composition and solo it to place the time indicator in 0 and attach it to FL3 composition to make them rotate together. Now select these two layers, place the time indicator maybe in 3 seconds and 10 frames, and move them here. Now we have some problem. If we place our time indicator somewhere here and show our circle, you can see that figure composition is out of line of circle, so it looks not very good. To change it, I want to duplicate this circle and make alpha channel to the figure from it, but at first I add some animation to it. Open scale, make it easy, and go in 0 time and write here 0. Now open graph mode and change it like something like that. Now duplicate it, fill this circle, doesn't matter which color, and press here on figure composition alpha made from circle 3. And now it works pretty good. You can see that it doesn't see a figure out of line. Now copy this scale, Ctrl C, go to our background composition and paste it in this circle. Move them together and paste it in BG pattern 2, but right here 120, and maybe open our shape pattern and make it longer for maybe 5 seconds too. Okay, and go to PG pattern and make them randomly. Just move every composition in randomly time. Okay, let's preview our background. Okay, I like it. One more thing, I just want to change color of this circle, maybe to some orange, because I don't really like this pink color. Maybe something like this. Go to our mandala composition and select all layers and unsolve them to see the whole picture. Maybe make our circle color more bright, maybe something like this. Okay, I like it. And now let's fill our black composition. This one is FL3. Add fill to it and make it maybe dark blue, something like this. Okay, copy this dark blue color and paste it in our dots because they are yellow and we doesn't see them. Paste it. Now make our figure to dark purple. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, good. Copy this color too and paste it in this circle here in stroke and paste it in our yellow triangles. Go to triangles main composition, select triangle 2 and paste it here. Again going to mandala. Yeah, now I like it. And one more, this one white circle. It's circle 2, I think. Yeah, and paste here our purple color too. Okay, let's preview it. Looks pretty good, but one more thing that I want to change is maybe move these triangles, these 4 layers up to dots, move them maybe for 15 frames before, or 10 frames, something here. And select these 3 and move them to 15 frame too. Now open our Lotus, select these keyframes and make this animation a little bit longer, up to 1 second and 20. And I think we can select opacity and make it a little bit faster, like this. Now copy opacity, go to our pattern composition, because if you remember they both have the same animation. Move again these keyframes here and paste our opacity here. Let's preview again. At last we finished it. I hope you like this tutorial and it will be useful for you. And if you doesn't understand something and have some questions, please write me in comments to this video. And now I can say you goodbye.